In America, I mean, this debate about activism within education is not confined solely to the UK. In November last year, the American Democratic Party experienced a stinging defeat in the Virginia governor race to the Republican candidate Glenn Youngkin. The Republican candidate placed opposition to critical race theory in education as a centrepiece of his campaign. And this is part because there's been a growing disquiet amongst Virginian parents over the way race and American history was being taught in local schools, leading many parents to organise opposition in school board meetings. At least 7 states now have passed legislation banning the teaching of critical race theory in public schools. But is this really the right approach? Well, let's now speak to Elana Fishbein, the president of No Left Turn in Education. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon in the UK. I mean, in your understanding, what is the problem right now going on in American schools when it comes to the way certain kids are being taught about certain subjects?
First of all, I would like to concur with everything that the professor said. And it's really amazing how this ideology, crossed oceans and been spreading very fast into Europe. And in United States, the major issue is that the parents have been completely stripped of their role and responsibility for their children. The schools and the school system have been pushing away parents and basically thinking that the government is the one to raise our kids and that the parents had no role in the education of their children. This is really the essence of the fight of what we are experiencing all over the United States. Virginia really came to the limelight, but in fact, it has been going all over the United States. I get phone calls from all over. Everybody thinks that they are the ground zero of the fight, not only Virginia. And indeed, it's happening in California, New York, Washington, Georgia, and even in what is considered red states and red area. Everything in the United States is ground zero in that regard.
But many have argued, for example, I've seen in some publications that this anxiety over critical race theory is manufactured, it either doesn't exist or the outrage is manufactured for other political ends. I mean, what do you see is really the problem with the teaching of critical race theory? Is it, do you worry about the kind of values it's going to socialise young people in? Do you think it's inaccurate, the reflection that it's being made about American history? I mean, what do you see about some of the response that this conflict in America has been garnering from different sides of the debate?
In fact, is all of this and much more, because the basis of all this teaching of what you call critical race theory, and in fact, they are using usually euphemism. And if you confront the schools and school board and you say, why are you teaching critical race theory? They will deny it because they have a whole new dictionary or vocabulary for words to describe actually what they are doing, so they can deny that there is anything related to critical race theory. We have to remember, critical race theory has it in its name. It's a theory. So what they're doing now, it's a major social experimental on a magnitude that they've never seen before. Nobody took that kind of concept and maybe did a pilot project in some schools and see how it impacts the kids. What are we actually trying to achieve with that? What's the purpose? And all of a sudden, it became a major social experiment with a huge industry. It's the educational complex industry that is producing enormous amount of material to impose ideology on our kids that has nothing to do with the values of the society, with the way the society has been formed and where we want to go.
And Elana, I mean, what do you think about some of the bans that have been put in place or proposed in some states? I mean, some people are arguing that this is an illiberal response, that we need to be responding with ideas and challenging it head on and confronting it head on, not resulting in a ban. What do you think?
I don't think using the word ban is correct. We are not banning. We are removing ideology from the curriculum that actually indoctrinating our kid. And what I mean when I say that is that they're actually promoting one orthodoxy. There is no place for presenting different point of view and bringing different point of view for children to discuss, to grapple with. They are introducing one single one, and it's a hateful one, is one that is in conflict with all the values of the society and the families, and introducing it as the gospel. And this is really the major problem. It's not that you see books that are presenting different point of view. It's not allowed. Kids in classes are afraid to express opposing point of view or variety point of view. They are not allowed. The teachers are censoring diversity of point of view, and that's a major problem. And it is in every area, not only on their social areas, but as well as in terms of racial issues or the history of United States, but also in issues relating to sexuality.